Hey, it's 28 millimeter RPG here. Rick, rock and roll Rick. I I'm wondering, and I'm just putting this out here to the people that watch my live streams on Sunday. I'm just wondering if you guys. Okay, so let's start with um, when I usually watch videos with a live stream about a game. There's the big intro for all the players, and then they do their little thing about what their background is and blah 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 blah, all the exposition on that. So you get to an intro on on the player, and then which is fine, which is what I like to do. Just have the intro on the player, and then it gets into the character that they're playing. So I'm wondering, do you guys find it more fun to discover what the player is, like the character that the player is playing? Do you like do you like having the introduction of what type of character they're playing and blah blah blah? Or would you rather see the way that I'm doing it is I don't necessarily introduce the characters. I let the players introduce the characters through the gameplay. And I think that's the way I want to kind of keep it. But I'm just wondering if you guys out there watching the streams want to have an exposition on the characters themselves. Frankly, I think that's against what I want to do. But do you guys find it more interesting when I do that, or you are you guys like you know going, hey, we want to know what these characters are about before they start playing? Now, the reason why I am doing it, of course, is because I want it to be more focused on the gameplay. I don't want to have a player say, okay, well, this guy is like this and like this and like this, and then when it comes down to the gameplay, they don't perform that way. So, um, and I don't want to have my players introduce a particular type of character and then suddenly feel kind of forced that they have to react the way that they said they were supposed to in the introduction. For me, it doesn't that doesn't matter too much, because in real life things are going to forge a character, like yourself. You're not the same person you were say 2 weeks ago because you might have learned a lot of things or encountered a few things that made you kind of go, maybe I got to rethink of why I thought a certain way, and now maybe I think differently now, because everything you encounter every day is an interesting kind of uh, thing, and you learn from it, and showing off some guitars in the background as usual. Yeah, and that's they're the guitars I use to play the intros and stuff like that. So, um, and of course, uh, I do intros for other people too if they want them. You know, um, I just do some simple things to make intros and have fun with it. Music's a fun thing for me, so just saying. Fun music. The Strat, the Les Paul, Super Strat over there in the red. All different sounds, all different cool stuff you can do with each one. And that's how players are. Player characters. They're all different. They all, I don't want to force them into one thing or another. I don't want to force a player to keep on playing, you know, restrictively. But at the same time, when you've developed a character, you're gonna expect them to react or act a certain way after a while. But I think that's where the gameplay kind of forges that sort of stuff. So, um, because you may present yourself as some brave ultra warrior or whatever, and then when you come upon the first tackle the first fight, uh, do you hold your ground? Do you retreat? you know, um, it's all going to come down through the gameplay. So this brave warrior ends up chickening out when that was his introduction. Well, so much for that. And sometimes play works that way. So yeah, my question to you guys out there is, you know, do you think I'm giving you a disservice by not introducing the players because I don't? Like, well, not introduce players, their characters because I don't. I introduce the players because I have good players. You know, they're good because they're learning and that they are adapting every time, and they're using their mind a lot more. I'm giving them some help too, helping them along. And I think the correction that I did with having the NPC prompting the uh, the go ahead for interaction after I do my little blurb of exposition or whatever it is that you know I'm describing. I think that helps. So Josh has got into he got to do some stuff, and I was kind of happy that I got to get him to do a few things by himself and everything. Mind you, our next session is going to be really interesting because yeah, he did fail his driving ability, and that was the neat thing was he didn't ask if he could drive this thing. He just, yeah, I'm going to go drive this thing. And he has no skill at it. And he's driving the thing. And yeah. That was the cool thing. There was no can I do this? Can he just wanted to do it and I was like, "Yep, roll unskilled." And I think there was a couple of mentions in the now I don't have okay, so when you roll for your skill and you fail it, I don't have you fail automatic like I don't have it like, oh, you crash right away. It's like you're driving down the road and all of a sudden, yeah, it may happen a little bit later, or might be happening at the moment. There might be something that you did to the transmission and it blows up in a bit or something like that. That's the way I play the fails. I don't always do fail right at the right on the onset. I mean, the guy could do a fail like sword fighting or something, could roll a fail and he'll be fighting away with his sword still, and he'll be, the character, the player himself would be going, "Why hasn't this Sneak Eyes bit me yet?" And then all of a sudden he's done with the henchmen killing them, and then he goes ahead and suddenly the big bad guy comes out from behind the curtain and pulls his sword. then the guy's character goes ahead and goes, "Aha! I'm ready for you." Pulls out his sword and his blade falls out, or something like that. I want to have things like that happen. So, that's the fun thing about fails. You don't always have to have them occurring right at the moment. You might have a time for that to occur, which adds to more drama and more impact in what's going on. And I don't know. What do you guys think? Any ideas on that sort of thing? Do you think it's a fudgy kind of thing that I'm doing? But it's something that I like to do. Not having the fails occur right away, but they will occur. So yeah. So two little topics, basically. Introduction to the characters. Players, yes. Characters, I'd rather not bore you with a bunch of like half hour of exposition by each player. I'd rather have the character suddenly emerge out. And that was the funny thing about our Godforsaken session was the I didn't know how any of these guys were going to play their characters, and I didn't do the what's it called, your session 0 with the okay, how are we gonna play these characters, and it was just like I'm just gonna let it spontaneously happen and see where we go. I thought maybe we'd go serious, but no, we're going kind of a little bit of fun. So maybe it's a little bit more better. I don't know, different tone than being all serious and all that stuff. Even a lot of my Traveller stuff, it seems like we go serious, but we have some funny spots too, of course. Not often, but it does happen. So, anyways, just a couple of things to think about. Once again, the typical GM diary thing that I bring up every once in a while. I hope you guys like these little quirp things that I put together, and you like what you see. Maybe it brings things up, question your own sanity sometimes. So I just hope you just tune in and learn something like me. And I learn stuff every day. So and I talk about it, and maybe it spurs on something with you guys too. So hit that button, subscribe, because I'll think of weird stuff all the time. Just do it. Hit that sub. Almost at 300. Imagine 300.